Now, this might become a little bit of a contentious topic, and I know it might polarize a few people who want to come back and talk about how we should be always putting our team first and we should always do this and always do that. Well, good news is that's not what I'm saying, first and foremost. So let's get stuck in right now, and I'll explain to you how the best thing for your business right now is to make sure that we're not paying team members for admin time, and I'll explain that to you right now. So first and foremost, I'm using the word team very much in that respect. And in fact, those that know me well know that I don't allow anyone to call their team members staff. And it's one of the things with our clients that we work with. They know to always pick up on people that we're always working with our team members and not staff. We should be hiring team. And if we've got staff, then fire the staff and hire a team. So let's just park that and get that out of the way first and foremost. Secondly, when we have to look at this, we really need to dive into the cultural side of things of what's happening with your business right now. We need to be able to make sure that we have the right culture in place to be able to make sure that we're not having to pay for admin time. See, admin time basically is dead time. It's wasted time. In fact, we're not even investing time into the business. There's no real justification for, oh, but Jason, I'm investing into the business and my team, and I'm showing that, we need to, the importance of admin and blah, blah, blah. Absolutely. But you can do that without having to waste a huge amount of money. Let me just give you a little story on this, and this is exceptionally powerful for the company that we were working with at the time. So the business was CQ Physio. They've since rebranded only just recently up in Queensland, 3 different locations, places like Yeppoon and Rockhampton, etc. Great business, great team, 5 great business owners doing a really fantastic scenario. Excuse me. And they had high 30s number of team members, 36, 38 different type team members across physio, EP, massage, dietetics, exercise science, psychology, occupational therapy, speech pathology, really awesome team and a huge business. And as you can imagine, I'm not going to talk about their numbers, but a multiple $1 million operation with that many team members and wages and expenses and locations and things like that. So what they used to do is that one of the first things I identified is the fact that they were actually allocating 30 minutes in the morning and 30 minutes in the afternoon to each therapist to do admin time. And so when you stop and think about that, that's actually a significant amount. If you've got, 35 plus team members, each with an hour a day, half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the afternoons to do their notes and to do their letters, etc., and you're paying for that time, then ultimately that's literally a full time. It's like, say, 38 hours a day across the board that within the business that you're actually paying for people to actually have that ridiculous amount of time to get up to date on. And so there's a couple of things here. When you start to pull this out, you start to realize that the actual investment to the business at the time is like $286,000 to write letters and notes, which is huge. I mean, there's probably people listening to this right now that their business isn't even worth $286,000. So we've got to sort of stop and understand that what you're actually doing is spending a huge amount of money, and ultimately you're wasting it. Because are notes important? Absolutely. I mean, legally you have to do them first and foremost, but to make sure that you're on the right path, you can go back and do clinical reasoning. You can make sure that next time you see that client, you can actually step things forward in the right way and know exactly what's been said and done. That's why they're there, right? It has to be done. But referral letters and letters to doctors and specialists, etc., they're also in many cases needing to be done, and you have to actually do that legally as well. And so ethically, we can't get away from that. And yes, they are a very, very valuable way to actually conduct marketing. Setting up a template on your computer and just auto-populating details, add 3 dot points, press send, etc. That might take you 3 minutes, but it's also 3 minutes of wasted time because you're not actually giving credit to the ability to actually set up the relationships, turn the tap onto relationships with doctors and specialists, etc. That can be absolutely massive. Like I'm talking that can be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to your business. So if we do know that it's really important, and we know that doing templates isn't the best way to do it, then how do we actually make that happen without spending $286,000? Well, the answer is quite simple. We need to be able to build it into our clinical load, and there's absolutely no reason why team members can't do that. See, for most places, if they're doing, let's take an example of a 30-minute consult, like in a workers' compensatory type situation, that consult most of the time is paid for 20 minutes. The same as if you're seeing Medicare, maybe DVA, etc. Quite often it'll be paid for 20-minute time, but we actually allocate 30 minutes, which is fantastic. And I think we should be doing that. But in that time period as well, notes can easily get done. So can letters. There's absolutely no reason why a therapist can't take 27 or 28 minutes with the person face to face. By the time they have 20 or 30 seconds walking into the room, 20 or 30 seconds walking out of the room, that still leaves them 1 to 2 minutes to be able to do notes. Now, can you do notes or can you do letters, etc. in that time period? The answer is very simply yes. We've been doing it for nearly a decade this way. All of our clients do it this way, and it's very smart and it's very succinct. And it's by utilizing not just the team members face-to-face, but it's utilizing things like VAs, where you can walk out of a room and you can just grab your phone, you hit an app like Voxer, it's free for your team members to use it, and they can just turn to your VA, so your virtual assistant. We've got nearly 50 of them full-time in the Philippines working for ourselves, and we outsource them and make them work for our clients as well. And as a net result, we have all of our practitioners that literally just will press the button and let's say Mary is their VA. They'll be like, "G'day, Mary, just need to do a quick doctor's letter with the following." And they talk it out and they say, "Today's date's this. Here's a referring doctor. This is the client. Can you do the following letter?" And so it may be a change in mentality for you hearing that to be able to verbalize it. But ultimately, all you're doing is verbalizing what's already in your head rather than sitting down and writing or typing out. And if you're like me, you type with 2 fingers. It's not the quickest anyway. And so all you do is you literally just verbalize it. Thanks for the referral today. Here's what they presented with. Here's what we did. Here's a course of action. And you put in, and you can even follow the actual how to write a great marketing referral letter that we've got as a template. And so as a net result, what you're actually doing is you're actually getting a really good marketing avenue done. It's personal and individualized. We know from feedback with all of our doctors and referral sources that they love it because they know that every single time we do a letter, we aren't actually doing some ridiculous template that says the same rubbish as every other letter. And on top of that, we're doing them in under 60 seconds because naturally you think quick, you act quick, you talk quick, and that just gets sent off straight away. So we then have our virtual assistant then listening to it, putting it into writing, putting all the details in place. They know what to do. It's all systemized. It's all with the right logos. It's professional. It's signed off. It's got the doctor's details, and everything looks really amazing. So now you don't need your therapist spending 10 minutes or 15 minutes doing letters. Now, I always used to say that 45 minutes was what every practitioner took each day to do notes and letters. In the last 12 months, I don't think a single business owner or person says it's less than an hour. So if we know that we are ultimately wasting an hour a day of our therapist's time doing letters and notes and those type of follow-ups, then what that tells us is we need to be more efficient and effective, because I don't want you, like CQ Physio were, to have a $286,000, it's not an investment, a waste of money in that avenue. So the other thing is this, is if you're allowing an hour a day to do admin time, not only is it the raw cost that you're putting forward, but on top of that, it's actually the lost opportunity cost. If you're doing half-hour consults and you've got an hour a day, then that's potentially 2 more clients that you can be seeing, 2 more lives that you could change, 2 more lives that you can have impact to them and their team or their own business, the community around them, the sporting club, etc. And so there's a massive wasted opportunity there for you to be able to get more impact and for you to be able to grow across the board. So if you've got 5 therapists in your business and that's 2 a day, that's 10 sessions a day that your business could potentially grow efficiency and effective wise. If your average dollar sales, $90 a day, $90 a session, via those 10 consults, that's $900 a day that your business could easily be therefore making. So what you have to stop and think about is how much lost opportunity cost is there. It's not just that you might be spending $50,000 or $100,000 a year on the time to do that, but it's also then the amount of money, the hundreds of thousands of dollars that you could be then leveraging out with efficiency and effectiveness with your team. So here's the thing. A lot of this does come down to the team and the culture that you actually have. If your business is based on numbers, right? And it's just purely on numbers and it's all about here's your base salary, see more people, get a bonus, and you drive them into the ground. You've got people that are just narrow-minded around money and earning more money, then this becomes a real challenge because they have that opinion that, oh, well, if I'm going to do this, spend time half an hour a day or an hour a day, I should be paid for it. Well, here's the challenge. If you're in that situation, it's telling me that the best thing you can be doing right now is changing around your team culture so that it's not just about them earning more money. Money is one factor, but there are so many more other factors that their decision to complete or not complete certain actions and behaviors should actually be driven from. So this becomes a nice one for us to start to go, how do we improve our team? How do we improve our culture? How do we make sure that the right things are in place now to actually make sure that we can have that time period built into our diary? There's no reason why during every consult that your team members have, why they can't be doing their notes, why they can't be doing letters, etc., without having to do them at 7 o'clock at night in their own time. There's no reason why they can't be done. And when you set it up with the right team culture, and I'll do another podcast about this shortly, about how we bring that into our team culture, how we have that in place. Because this shouldn't be a to-do item. This should be a standard. People like us do things like this is one of the most powerful things that Seth Godin taught me when he first came to Australia nearly a decade ago. He sat down with me and we had lunch together, and that's what he taught, one of many things that he taught me. And so if we're in a situation where it's not a to-do list, I have to do my notes, I have to do the doctor's letters, etc. It doesn't actually become a to-do list or a to-achieve list, because so many times those aspirations, we let ourselves down on. But if you have the right culture in place with your team, then this actually becomes about standards. This is about you not breaking your own boundaries, the team not breaking their own boundaries, because you don't let yourself down on your boundaries, your non-negotiables. So when you have the right team culture in place, people just know that I can't get behind on my notes because this is who we are. People like us do things like this. We're a team that has standards. We have boundaries. We wouldn't let ourselves down by not having those done on a daily basis. And so therefore people naturally, because of the right culture that you've built, naturally people want to do it for the right reasons. They'll always want to make sure that they're putting those in place because they've got the boundaries in place. They're the standards that the team lives by. And as a net result, you're more efficient, more effective. All of these things get put into place in the right way without you as the business owner having to therefore pay for huge amounts of time with clients to actually bill out admin time. So guys, it's as simple as that. We shouldn't be paying for admin time. It should be built into what we're doing inside the business. There are numerous ways to do this, and I'll cut another podcast soon. So if you're listening to this and it's been a while since I cut this one, go and grab that other podcast that I'll do. Don't know what the title is, but I'm sure you'll be able to find it there easy enough. And I'll show you how to actually go about making sure you have the right culture, because if you have a great culture, then this will actually happen. So right now, if you're trying to say, oh no, I've got a great culture and a great team, but this isn't happening in your business, then that we don't have an ideal team culture at the moment. And that's something you can go and work on and get on top of right now so that we can ultimately have more time. The business can create more money, which everyone can enjoy the spoils on. We all have more freedom. And most of all, we create even more impact. And that's what it's all about. I'll talk to you again very soon. Hey guys, thank you very much for listening to another episode of the Profitable Practice Podcast. I would love nothing more than for you to be able to leave a review. I get so much joy out of listening and reading the amazing things that you guys say about this. So please subscribe to our channel, leave a review, and share it with your friends. Let's get some more fantastic information out there so all of us can grow the industry together. Cheers for now.